Acceleration cues. Consider this to be a chalk talk for acceleration. When we look at any given task that we assign to an athlete, there's always a goal. It needs to be clearly communicated to the athlete what the goal of the task is. However, you can paint a picture in their mind's eye as to what you want it to look like and what it should look like is super helpful to the athlete. Know that when you have an acceleration sequence, you have to teach an athlete to accelerate the right way before you teach them how to accelerate different ways. Therefore, there should be unity in your language and consistency in terms of how you cue that athlete from whatever exercise it is that you give to them. Now, when we look at acceleration, we're primarily after three things. We want good position. So in other words, in this case, we want a torpedo position. We want them to be able to execute the pattern of acceleration. And then we want them to do it with the requisite power to be able to achieve horizontal projection. So as we progress an athlete through various acceleration drills, the consistency in terms of how we cue them with respect to acceleration should be the same. So now the athlete goes from a non-specific movement as it relates to acceleration to a sport-specific movement, and you're still cueing them the same. And more importantly, you've laid the foundation as it relates to how you communicate with the athlete, 'cause then you can identify where the breakdowns are because of the consistency in language. So when you take a look at these various acceleration tasks, we talk about position. So getting the athlete in the right position, what does that look like? How do you cue them to get into the right position? I like to use terms such as torpedo. Get into a torpedo position where the shoulders are higher than the hips. We want the feet behind the hips, a straight line, power line position. Ear, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, as you see there. We want to execute the proper pattern. What we're looking for is a thigh split, great thigh split from the top of the thigh to the stance leg thigh. Foot cocked and locked. Notice that position right there. You can see the shin angle. The knee is in front of the ankle, forming a positive shin angle. So as you see the athlete perform various acceleration tasks, the cues are going to be the same. So we're on the fence. It's punch the knee toward the fence, a directional external cue. Cock and lock the ankle, attack the ground, external cue. When we look at the athlete performing the task of accelerating with a sled, it's the same thing. We punch, we push, we attack the ground. You see the athlete without the sled, it's the same thing. So whether the movement is loaded or unloaded, we're going after the same thing, which is to punch the knee and attack the ground. We want to drive back and attack with the elbows. We want to push the ground away from them or us. And so it's the same cues. That way there's consistency. We see that the athlete's moving from a backward shuffle position into a reposition step into an acceleration. Again, there's consistency in the language, and I'm using very few cues to elicit the response of great acceleration. Now, one other thing, when we talk about acceleration, we want to use words that evoke excitement, that evoke being able to attack the ground. Words such as strike back, very violent words, because most athletes are passive when it comes to the force application component of acceleration. So when we look at acceleration, in summary, keep your words few, yet very, very purposeful. Don't use a bunch of cues with the athlete. Identify the low-hanging fruit. And most of all, watch what you see. Coach what you see with the athlete. And you have a winning formula for helping your athletes improve their acceleration.